Well, this season ends in another disappointing way, my fellow Cowboys fans. Congratulations, Packers. Y'all came in here and put the whip on our asses. It was not even a competitive game. It wasn't close. Outcoached, outplayed. Their quarterback played way better than ours. They got their running game going again. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and say we lost this game. It was all self-inflicted. Sure, we did a lot of dumb things. Mike McCarthy, I like the guy. He seems like a nice guy. I like Jason Garrett too, but doesn't mean I want him as my coach. This was the only thing I thought that could get Mike McCarthy fired, something like this happening, and it was the perfect storm. It happened. Dan Quinn, in my last video, I said maybe it would be time for him to move on anyway. It might be kind of good, actually, because he's been figured out. All our tendencies were exposed. No one showed up today. Before the game, when I saw Dak on the sideline, I told my wife, I said, oh my God, he has that look again like he did before the Niners games, you know. And sure enough, he was playing. He was tense. He was like nervous. He looked like the guy it was his first year in the playoffs. And I know it's a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of pressure on the other team too. But they just came out and outplayed Dallas. Pollard looked like he could have had a good game, but we couldn't stick to our running game at all because we got so far behind. Even Dak's, throws that were, the guys caught that were not interceptions. They were in heavy traffic, like he was doing last season. So it could have been worse. He tried to throw a couple of more picks. The game plan, it looked like we went back to I don't want to say but we won a lot of those games by blowouts, but the games we looked really bad in, like the Cardinals and the Niners, and the Bills even. Dallas should have won this game. They're a better team. They were at home, had everything working in their favor, but of course they didn't show up. You know, us fans, we always show up and we support this team, and it's just disappointing. I'm not mad because, you kind of get used to it, I guess. It sucks. It sucks. And I've said this before, all my kids are all adults now, pretty much all of them. I've raised them as Cowboys fans, so they go through this. But, God, there's a lot of blame to go around. Jerry Jones, he feels like he put together a good team. Will McClay, he always does his job good. He's good at what he does. This team just was not prepared. It's like they thought they had another game to play next week. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. So I guess it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers, right? It's just you show up in that uniform and Dallas, what's the bed? This is going to be a very interesting offseason. I do think McCarthy's got to go. Quinn, I don't know if anybody's going to want to hire him now, but I don't want him promoted to head coach. Dak, I believe he's got another year on his contract. Just let him play it out. There's no need to rush and sign him. If you were CeeDee Lamb, would you want to come back to this team? If you were Micah Parsons, would you want to sign? I guess we'll find out. But this was a very, very underwhelming performance. This was shitty. It was bad. Again, congrats to the Packers because they did this to them. I'm not going to take any away from that team and that young man, that quarterback. They played very well. Coaching looked good. Just, gosh, I'm at a loss almost. It's just pathetic. It's embarrassing. It's a cold night here in Dallas-Fort Worth, I'll tell you that. But, I'm going to watch the other game tonight. This is not going to dictate how it goes for me, just like it shouldn't for any of you guys. Jerry, It's your move again. He knows the time is ticking for him. But there's going to be, I'll have to. I'm not going to say look at the tape because I don't do that, and I sure as I ain't going to do that with this game. We'll just, I guess, see how this plays out. Tonight's game should be good too. The Lions and the Rams. I really don't care who wins. I'm sure we'll see some inspired football playing tonight, though. Not like from our Cowboys, who were so uninspired, all of them. Micah Parsons, you need to just play, dude. Maybe, this season, talking shit about other teams, having your podcast, which it's up to you, do what you want, but you didn't show up today. Nobody did. Nobody did. It was a bad, bad showing. All right, guys. Well, let's enjoy the rest of the playoffs, and we'll go from here. Once again, congrats, Packers. Congrats to the Houston Texans, who also advanced in the playoffs. First-year quarterback, looked like an all-pro. Man, I wish he was playing over here in Arlington. All right, guys. Enjoy these games. We'll talk to you soon.
Mary Hartman, weeknights at 5 o'clock.